Okay, round one. I'm on the die roll. Gonna have to mulligan that one. This one will keep. Yeah. Keep the forest on top. So we can go Drudge Beetle or Imp. I suppose we'll go Beetle. It's more damage. Albeit not evasion. Azorius. I don't mind the courier too much. Mostly because I guess I'm not concerned about getting milled out, and we have another scavenge card in the deck, so technically I guess courier kind of helps us. We also have a treasured find, so I don't think courier is that bad for us. We'll play the imp now. And I'm not even gonna offer the trade here. We'll just take some damage. I'll save the stab wound for something better. See if it feeds us. Well, we can get launch party back if we need it off of Selesnya Sentry. Okay. So I could just stab wound that. He can't even regen though, so I guess we'll just swing with the imp. I guess I should have just played Gatecreeper Vine there and played the land I got off of it, but that's alright. Do a little deck thinning. Still don't really care about getting milled. Alright. It's not that bad for us. Swindler and an imp. Okay. Giant growth. Okay. It's a way to kill the sentry, actually, without using the stab wound, so we'll swing at the imp. Alright. Still want to save stab wound for something that it doesn't kill. And next turn, at worst, we can do a little scavenging, so it's not bad. And even if they have an answer here, it's not the end of the world. Gatecreeper Vine was effectively a land anyway, so I don't even really consider this a 2-for-1. Yeah, honestly, I don't even think it's that bad. Actually, I'd much rather him do that. Well, so much for treasured finding back. But I'd much rather him bounce that than bounce my imp after I buff it with this Drudge Beetle. So I think this is actually going to work fine for us. I mean, I feel like we're kind of winning this race. Oh, underworld connections. Okay. Let's see here. So let's swing with imp. And we are going to unleash the Reveler, and we're not going to unleash the Thrill Kill Assassin. I mean, we could actually. There's a point to be made there, but no, we'll have that available to still trade with the Sentry. Okay, the SAR Patrol, not a huge deal. It does put a bit of a stop to our Reveler, but we've got the stab wound now, so I'm actually fine here. So Thrill Kill will offer with this guy. Sure. All right, Gatecreeper Vine. Well, I guess we'll attack first. So I guess I wish Reveler was leashed now, but that's all right. Like I said, I'm pretty confident we're still winning this race. Oh, that's too bad for us. So Reveler looks a lot worse now. I am pretty happy I took the 2 Centaur Heralds over it. Because now it's just, this is where it's really pretty awful. Can't block, don't want to attack. There's a Sewer Shambler. All right, so we'll play the Militant to block the Sentry. Actually, I guess I can Shamble on it, and then I can block the Courier. So we'll do, like, this keeps the Courier back if he doesn't have a combat trick, I think. We still have 1 stab wound left as well. I think we're going to take this one. Trestle Troll would be a great draw. So it looks like we lost our opportunity now to block the Sentry, so I'm in pretty big trouble now. I mean, oh, I see. Well, we can block the Courier without losing our Militant. It's going to put us at, what, 2 life, I guess? Well, that's too bad. So I guess we're dead. All right, so we got worked pretty hard there, which is unfortunate. So let's see if we can't do a little bit better in game 2. This definitely seems like a winnable match. We just obviously had to mulligan and saw too many lands, so we'll try and avoid that this time around. We could do Mind Rot, because it's got a lot of combat tricks. It's a nice way to get around it. Dead Reveler looked just as bad as I kind of thought it was going to be in this deck. I mean, when you're trying to win off stab wounds, 3/4 that can't block or a 2/3 is just extremely mediocre. So I'm going to have to do something better. Do I want to Mind Rot? That is the question. And just dip out a Dead Reveler? I could do that. Alright, we'll do that. We'll play first. Yeah, we'll keep this. So this hand has no green mana, which makes the Gatecreeper Vine that much more awkward, but we have a couple imps and a stab wound. It seems acceptable to me. Well, no 2-drop's nice. Trestle Troll we can't play. Get in with Imp and drop an Imp. Opponent's got a lot of life gain, which makes the stab wound plan more difficult, especially given that they have dramatic rescue. So winning off stab wound is going to be a lot more difficult. Yeah, Stealer's Secrets does have to die, so we'll trade it for a stab wound. Can't let my opponent be drawing cards. Alright, so we can't attack into that, unfortunately. And we can't cast a combat trick either. So we're in full-fledged chill-out mode. We're green mana away from just getting in there. There it is. So now we can swing. Alright, just going to take it. We can play the Trestle Troll and pass. So our opponent leaves up Dramatic Rescue mana. Not going to be able to cast the Chorus of Might. Yeah, new Prof Guildmage is very good. Alright, so they left up Dramatic Rescue mana, which means we won't be doing anything spicy here. So we play the Gatecreeper Vine, we get a Forest, play a Centaur's Herald, and pass. Oops. So, Course of Might, rapidly getting better. Problem is we got to find an actual time that we can resolve it, which kind of easier said than done here. At least the Detain is expensive on new Prov Guildmage. Alright, so we're hanging out. Mind Rot would actually be pretty good here. Sure. Stab Wound would be nice. I think our opponent would probably Dramatic Rescue. I almost don't want to sack the Herald since I can't attack with it. But just getting the 3/3 online now, I guess, doesn't seem like the worst. And if our opponent wants to use Dramatic Rescue to kill our 1-drop rather than keep it up to protect against Coercive Might, I'm okay with that too. So I'm going to have to, do something with the Centaur's Herald at some point. I might as well convert it now. And like I said, if our opponent wants to use a Dramatic Rescue on it, so be it. We're basically just looking for another Stab Wound win con. There's a Giant Growth. So Giant Growth Coercive Might's probably enough to get there at some point, but obviously we're not going to play into the Dramatic Rescue. So let's hang out. Wild Beastmaster is also a win con, but once again, Dramatic Rescue. Not going to let us do anything about that. Underworld Connections would be really great right now. Non-land permanent, so kind of works against... yeah, it's going to be a problem. Well, I mean, we have the Trestle Troll, I guess, so it's not the worst. All right. So I think we're going to get Dramatic Rescued here. I'm trying to think if my best move is to... So I can block with 2 Dagger Drome Imps. Giant Growth 1, it'll get bounced, and then Coercive Might the other. Problem is, my opponent can both have Swift Justice. I think they both probably have Swift Justice and Dramatic Rescue, which is a problem. Trading a Giant Growth and a Dagger Drome Imp for a Swift Justice is bad. Trading a Coercive Might for a Dramatic Rescue is not great, but maybe the play I should do. It's a little challenging, because I really do think my opponent has both of those cards. I guess I'm gonna have to trade Coercive Might. I could trade Coercive Might for Dramatic Rescue and prevent damage to myself right now. All right. So it's still a 1-for-1. Yeah. I knew he had it, but like I said, it's a 1-for-1. It's a 1-for-1 we're just going to have to really unhappily accept, basically. I've managed to draw a bunch of lands. Our opponent did too, but they've just got themselves in a better position. Like, seeing our 3 Dagger Drome Imps has been awkward. So, there's been some pretty awkward stuff going on this game. And we're in a pretty rough spot now, because I think what's going to happen is our opponent's got one of the 2 Swift Strikes in hand, which means this Giant Growth's not going to be able to do anything I want it to do, which sucks. Trying to think how I can play around that. I don't think I can. Yeah, I really don't think I can. So yeah, I can block. I think we're going to take 3 this time. I think it's just extremely likely that my opponent has Swift Justice. Extremely likely. So playing into that and getting 2 for 1 just does not seem like a way to get the victory. So I guess I can play Thrill Kill as a beater. Alright, I guess that's reasonable. And our opponent can't bounce it with Skymark Rocks, so I guess that's nice. Unfortunately, our opponent can detain it as well now that they have 10 mana or whatever. I mean, I could attack with the Centaur. I don't know. The Centaur gets bounced. It's pretty bad, too. All right. So we need to see our stab wounds, we need to see Treasured Find, we need to see Underworld Connections. We have the cards, we need to draw them. Still don't want to get 2 for 1. We're just like a stab wound away from some pretty nice recovery here. Volatile Rig is... It's okay, I guess. It has to attack each turn, though, which I don't love. And it could flip and... Well, we're going to play it, though. So, I think our opponent's probably just going to detain the Thrill Kill, which makes sense. So we'll play the Rig. And I guess the nice thing about the Rig is my Troll can still survive. I'm not going to replay the Dagger Drome Imp. Okay. So I suppose our opponent's probably going to detain the Rig. And the assassin, maybe? I mean, I don't know if I'm going to win the coin flip, so it's not really worth throwing away our imps, because it's not a guarantee they're going to die. So I'm trying to think if I want to giant growth here. It feels like a pretty good opportunity to do so. The problem is this is going to have to... No, because we're going to flip a coin is the problem. Whether or not... Because if I giant growth and it's going to be dealt damage first because of first strike. And if I lose the flip, it dies. So it's like flip into flip here. So let's put a regen shield on this. So let's just see if we deal 4 damage. I could save my centaur with the giant growth, but it can't get past the armory guard anyway, so I don't know if that's right. Hey, we won the flip. All right, so 4 damage to everything. Wait. Oh, I didn't want to win the flip. Okay. Well, that's too bad. Doesn't matter. Lost that flip. All right, so first strike damage happens. Now we're going to go for the giant growth play on the Skymark rock, so I guess that's good news. We're basically going to hope they don't have the other Swift Justice as the last card in the hand. Or the other dramatic rescue for that matter. All right, they had all the goodies. Nothing I can do about all the goodies. Hey, Underworld Connections is good, so. All right. Let's connections a forest. Start drawing some cards. Oh, I suppose we should make him... Oh, well, that's kind of nice. Oh, wait, he's got the Aqua Steed. I see. Well, that's not going to work. All right. Herald. Imp. And pass. So I basically just need to draw one of my stab wounds. and then hit the Skymark Rock. And then we're at least sitting behind something. So maybe just want to block with the imp here. I want to keep my life total relatively high for this connection while I dig up a stab wound. Beastmaster is cool, but alright. Well, let's draw. Play the imp. Play the Beastmaster and pass. So I think we're officially out of buff spells. We have 2 scavenge effects. Our opponent's ideally out of Dramatic Rescue. Okay. All right, that's not a huge deal. So we'll take damage this time. Guess we'll flip another Herald. We've got 2 stab wounds and a treasured find to find off this connection. Alright, we're just not hitting the goodies, my friends. I want to, but we're not. I mean, we're almost getting to the point where if I find a stab wound, I'm going to lose before stab wound kills my opponent, which is kind of crazy. All right, I think we're blocking again here. Just really need a stab wound here. All right, well, getting a lot of other things, I suppose. I mean, the funny thing is, if I got a stab wound, I could at worst deal with the Nuprov Guildmage. All right, taking some damage. Launch party's pretty good here. So I can deal with the Nuprov Guildmage. And then turn off the... Yeah. Can I win off... I have 9 cards left in my deck, so I have to find the means to win off of Stab Wound. Aqua Steed is pretty good here too. Yeah, so I think we're just going to launch party the Guild Mage. I guess we draw first. I really hope Stab Wound's not the last 2 cards in our deck, nor is the Treasure Find. So we'll launch party, we'll take care of the guild mage. So we turn off the detain. I'm trying to think if we even have enough time. I'm kind of unconvinced we even have enough time to win off of stab wound now. We just honestly took too long to find our second, third, or treasured find. I mean, 3 of our remaining 8 cards are cards that we just absolutely need to draw now. But yeah, like a stab wound doesn't even do it anymore. That's the kind of disappointing thing. If we see 2 over the next 2 turns, we can still get there. Must have another trick of some sort, I imagine. Probably their second Swift Justice, is my guess. Alright, so we lose the Wild Beastmaster. So let's figure out blocks here. We've got Troll on the rock. We'll do Swift Justice, which I think is what we're going to have to deal with here. So what's my best blocks? I can go Swindler, Centaur on the guard, and Croc and Centaur on the patrol. That way, one of them's going to get traded off. Oh, wait, they have the Aqua Steed. Yeah, that makes things difficult. And I'm low on time, too, so I don't really know my most profitable blocks here, to tell you the truth. I think we're just going to go double block here. Can give -1. I guess, actually, we can go double block here, and that way, even if they have the... We know they have the Aqua Steed, but it still kills the patrol. And if I double block the Armory Guard... Yeah, I don't like it, but I think I'm going to do it. I don't know what to do about Swift Justice, essentially. And I feel like I'm just too low on time in game 2 here, where thinking about it too much to try and get the most optimum play is just going to ultimately cost me the match in time. But yeah, I do definitely think there's a Swift Justice coming here. All right, I mean, that's not the worst. No, they did have precisely what I thought they had, which is a bummer, but bummers happen. So still just completely unable to find the stab wound, which is starting to get pretty sad. So I think it's literally impossible to win now. Maybe I shouldn't use the word literally in this context, but yeah, we've managed to not draw either of our 50% of our deck was win cons we needed. Like, I'm saying 50% of my deck now is like win cons I needed a million years ago. So this is just sort of depressing at this point. I don't even think I can win off my win cons anymore. They were at the bottom of my deck. So late. So, can swing with the Beetle and the Shambler, and then I can play Beastmaster and Scavenge on it so my opponent can't bounce it anymore. Alright, so we play the Beastmaster. I don't even think I'm going to draw off the Underworld Connections anymore. It's not doing me any good. So we'll Shamble on the Beastmaster. Alright, that's too bad. Disappointed about that one, but what can you do? I mean, at this point, I saw 7 more cards than my opponent had. When you have 7 cards, you have a complete new hand of card advantage, and you can't make it come together. That is really no bueno. So let's see here. If I don't use Tavern Swindler, am I going to die? I'm going to take 2, 4, 5. I can block here. 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, I have to use Tavern Swindler and I have to win the flip. And I lost the flip. All right. Well, this was a really disappointing match just because, like I said, my win con was Draw, Stab, Wound. We had 3 of them. We had the Treasured Find, and they just, two of them and the Treasured Find happened to be in the bottom 6 cards of our deck. So I'm disappointed in the match outcome, but that is okay. You can't always draw super hot. And this match definitely proved that. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you for the next draft.